What's up, ladies and gentlemen, my dear tricksters, my dear friends, members of the Big Brain Club. Yes, it is the BBC. Do not demonetize this video. What we're doing in this video is we're doing a VOD review of PewDiePie, helping him cross the bridge from bronze to silver. Yes, it took me some time to think that joke up. Today we're gonna help the Pewds become better player in Valorant, because as you all know, I'm a 14 times Radiant player, and reaching Radiant is a piece of cake most of the times, sometimes not. Before this video starts, please make sure to subscribe, join the community, leave a like, that helps me a lot. And when we reach 1000 likes on this video, the new VOD review will come out. Maybe a Scream, maybe Tens, maybe Dr. Disrespect, you never know. Also, make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/charlatan, because we stream every single day from Monday to Friday. And also make sure to join my official Discord server, the link is down in the description below, if you want to get coached in Valorant as well. Today we're doing an Omen VOD review on Ascent. You want to stick throughout this whole video, because there's going to be a lot of information about the Omen, executes on Ascent, how to play with your allies. You know how we do it in this town, like information everywhere, entertainment pinnacle, like tippity top. Let's go into the video. It is the first round of Ascent. Unfortunately, PewDiePie streams in 720p because he doesn't give a flippin' F, so the video is not gonna be a high quality, but at least you can see my face and myself in high quality. In the first round on Ascent, we are always asking ourselves one question: do enemies have Killjoy, Sage, or Cypher? Do they have a high Sentinels team composition? If the answer is yes, then in the first round, what you want to do on Ascent, you want to push A site or B site through the mid area of the map. Like, you want to push A site to short with all 5 people in your team. Maybe one guy can be on the flank in A main, or pushing the B side through the market area of the map and with one person in B main for flanking, because it is extremely hard on Ascent, if the enemies have a high Sentinel team composition, to breach through the A main area and through the B main area of the map. If the enemies have only one Sentinel agent, they have only Sage, Cypher, or only Killjoy, you should attack the A site in that round, because most likely that agent is gonna play on B side. Like, Valorant is being played on a probability. Like, everything is like kind of 50-50, like nothing is certain, but you can like change that percentage of probability to work in your favor and to have a higher chances of winning a specific match or a specific round. Even if he plays A side, it doesn't matter. Like, A side is a bit more wide open and it is a bit easier to be taken on the attacker side. While B side is kind of close, like if the Killjoy is playing B side in the first round and she puts the nano swarms in the speedway, you're most likely dead. At least your allies are gonna die, like if you don't do some kind of an aggressive execute. If the enemies don't have any of these agents, they don't have the Killjoy, they don't have the Sage, they don't have the Cypher, etc, etc, always attack the B side in a first round. In a first round, as an Omen player, you always wanna buy a classic pistol, 2 shrouded steps, and 2 smokes with a light shield. In the first round, we don't know with what type of animals and gorillas in the jungle we're playing with. We don't know how good or how bad our allies are, and that is why we need to do some kind of an aggressive execute to take a certain area of the map for our team and push together with our allies through the A main or B main area of the map. Like, your job as a Jet and Omen player is not to be entry fragger and kill people on the site. Your main job is to take a certain area of the map with your own body, control that area of the map, and make the sandwich out of the enemies together with your allies, pick the enemies together with your teammates, or simply continue the push and be aggressive if you feel that is the right option to do. Like, there's multiple different choices and game decisions that you can make. We see the PewDiePie buying the Ghost and playing the Ghost without any utility. Like, this is insane in my opinion, what he is doing right now. Like, in the first round, you always want to buy everything for the money that you have Pewds. Like, you want to buy smokes, you want to buy like shrouded steps. Right now he should be having like I don't know, 2 shrouded steps, 2 smokes, I don't know what's going on in his head. Like, and also Ghost is not a bad weapon, like it is a good pistol in a first round, but I feel if you're already pushing B side against the Killjoy and Sage, and this type of team composition, you need to do something aggressively. So how would my push look like on the B side if I was in the Pew's place? So how do I push in the first round B side? So I buy the classic pistol, light shield, 2 shrouded steps, and 1 dark cover. What do? I tell my flash allies to flash me in the B main area here, and then we clear the B main area in the ways that I explained you how to clear the main areas of the map. So the main areas of the map, you never wanna engage wide swinging. You always wanna let your allies go first, or basically playing on the contact of your allies, but being close enough to refrag your teammates. You always wanna use some kind of a utility to clear those areas of the map, or you want to jump spot to see where the enemies are, and basically on the minimap or with your vision see if the enemies are playing that area of the map with operator or in some kind of a double bait setup, etc, etc, and that is how you clear those angles and those corners. Your execute onto the B side, aggressive execute, as Omen player starts here. Once you reach this position, I'm smoking the stairs here, and I'm teleporting with the shrouded steps in this type of a way inside of my smoke. Make sure to not teleport like on top of there, like that is a full bonobo move that I did, like that is a monkey move. So you do this, and then from this position you have so much opportunity. Like you can use the smokes as a cover-up tool to push the enemies fast into market and to rip them apart. Or you can maybe kill the enemies in the speedway, or what you can also do, you can teleport back into this smoke and engage enemies here, close the doors for your allies, and you provide an enormous amount of pressure onto the enemies. All of these things are very high risk, high reward. You need to read the enemy's movement, you need to observe the minimap, you need to listen to the sound, what's happening around you, but that is the proper way to engage the enemies on the B side in the first round as Omen. Omen is a very creative agent. You need to think, how can you distort the map in your favor? So here, it is really good that he is letting his allies peek this area of the map, but he is not being very close to his teammates. He is not being able to support them, and he should be much faster, because this jet could have died already like 3 times. Also, this moment that he did right now was extremely bad. This only fucks up your team and nobody else. If you already want to do a default smoke setup on B side to help your allies enter the site, the smoke should go in the market area, on the edge of the doorway here, in the CT area here, on the edge of the doorway as well, and if the enemies push you through this smoke, they are in a disadvantage compared to you. Now, the smoke, it is really important that the smokes are on the edge of the doorways, because if you do smoke like this, then the enemy can peek you from multiple different directions. Like the enemies can peek you from here, they can peek you from here, from this angle, etc, etc. But if you do the smoke like this, then the enemies can only peek you through this choke point here, and you don't need to worry about this many angles and different positions. In a second round, always buy heavy shield, number 1. Number 2, good weapon. Like, the only time you should not buy a heavy shield is if you save the light shield from the first round. If you didn't save the light shield, or you have no shield at all, always buy a heavy shield coming into the second round that you won if you won the first round. Number 1 rule. Number 2 rule, always buy a good gun, especially in lower elos where every single round is crucial and where you cannot rely on your allies. Pewds, buy the Spectre, buy the Stinger, buy the Bulldog, buy the Judge, buy the Sheriff. Anything, any gun of these guns is good gun. I prefer on the attacker side, in a second round, the Spectre buy, and on a defender side, I will buy the Judge. And I will carry those weapons in the third round as well. You want to try to secure this round as much as possible. And right now, he should also be buying Shrouded Steps and Paranoia for the rest of the money that he has. As we already discussed in our previous VOD reviews, when you prioritize buying Omen's utility, you want to prioritize buying 1 Shrouded Step over anything else, buying the second Smoke, buying the Paranoia, and buying 1 more Shrouded Step. That is how you prioritize the utility of Omen when buying it. Here, in this round, they are pushing the A site, and the smoke setup is When you're executing the A site, we have multiple executes. The default execute on A site is smoking the short area and smoking the rafters in this type of a way. We're covering the top of the rafters, the bottom of the rafters as well, and we don't need to worry about this area of the map. This smoke is very bad because it does nothing for us. It doesn't cover the rafters at all, and the enemies can peek us from the wall up there, and they can completely annihilate us and kill us. If the enemy peeks us there, we can easily kill him if he tries to go back into the smoke. This is our first smoke, so you're always throwing this smoke first. The second smoke is the smoke at the doorway here, for the short area of the map. Again, following the smoke rules, like on the edge of the doorway, towards the enemy lines. And then, when you're pushing, this is a default setup, and then your allies should be pushing the site, and you're always flashing your allies in this line here, basically at the generator area, and trying to support them there with a flash utility. And then you're pushing site together with your allies, closing the doors as soon as possible, and trying to position yourself on top of the generator, because this is the best post-plan position on a site. On this position, you are a bit more wide open, like... yes, the enemies can kill you from top of the rafters, from the short area, from the main area as well, but observe the minimap, because on this position you're building your game decisions, your game sense, your map awareness, and on this position you have a perfect off angle to fuck up the enemies on top of the rafters, in the short area, in the main area, and like you should be completely fine. No matter where the enemies are engaging you from. But just try to look at the minimap, which angles are being covered by your allies, what your allies are doing, and how can you help them in that post-plan scenario. Also, you can penetrate the enemies in the CT area here. You can use the smart pings to have easier time to penetrate that area, like to know exactly where you need to shoot them. The aggressive execute, the smoke that we always need, is the smoke in the generator, in the short area here. Like, this is a must-have smoke. And the second smoke, if we want to engage the site in a bit more aggressive type of a way, we need the second smoke to be either inside of the generator, like this, or inside of this box here, like this. And then we can flash the enemies on the left side or the right side, flash wherever you think the enemies are. Like, if you think enemies are generator, flash them in the generator, flash them behind the site if you're maybe teleporting there, that is totally fine by you. But what we're doing here, we're having this smoke, or this smoke here, flashing the enemies, and then teleporting as fast as possible under the generator or on top of the generator, providing the space for our allies to push this A main area here, and also putting enormous amount of pressure onto the enemies. From this smoke here, you don't need to be extremely aggressive, like you don't need to peek enemies immediately. You can do that, like you can try to peek them and push them and try to kill them, be the entry fragger, but you don't need to do that. Observe the minimap, listen on your headphones where you are hearing your allies getting fucked by the enemies, and try to help your teammates as best as you can. Also, we can do the same thing like with the smoke here, like simply teleporting to that angle there, and like from this position engaging the enemies. Now, when you're using the shrouded steps with Omen, you really want to be in a moving motion. So what do I mean by that? So instead of using a shrouded steps like this and standing in one place doing this animation, you want to jump and strafe in some direction to reposition your body from the enemies. So like this. So basically, while the animation is being played out, half of the animation you are in the air, moving to a certain direction, and also the enemies are gonna see you with the hands and your body in a completely different direction where you actually teleported. So let's say I'm retaking the A site. I will be smoking there, smoking the A main area, and I will use my teleport like this. And if the enemy peeks me here, like this, he will not know where the fuck I teleported. That is how you can play with the enemy's minds and how you should be using like your shrouded steps. And basically that is how you enter the A site properly and what you should be doing. Closing the doors is a must. You should always close the doors and then try to plant the bomb with your teammates. Let's see now what is happening for PewDiePie in this post-plan scenario. Here, I mean, this is a lot of run and gunning. Like, PewDiePie really needs to start like you need to stop and shoot the enemies. So you need to learn the mechanic of jiggle peeking the enemies. So what you're doing right here, like you're literally going run and gun and doing this. Like even the slightest movement in Valorant will fuck up your aim. When you're shooting the targets, you always want to be steady and then shooting the targets. So you don't want to go like this and just spray the targets. Like you see the enemy, as soon as you see the enemy, you're stopping and shooting that enemy. End of the story. So the enemy is there, we're jiggle peeking the enemy, going to the left side, stopping, shooting the enemy, going back. This is something that I noticed a lot of times, like throughout the VOD, and something that must be fixed. Okay guys, I got the insider's information that the PewDiePie is currently in gold, but this was a bronze like VOD that he was playing in, so yeah, like just you know, inside information from his editor to my editor, and you know how that goes, like between YouTubers like that have like 100 million and 400 million subscribers like myself. That will be it for this part of the VOD. The second part will be released when we reach 1000 likes on this video, and I'll be teaching you some advanced tactics and tricks to conquer Elo hell and lower ranks on the attackers and defenders side. Also leave down in the comments if you enjoyed this series and should we continue it. Make sure to hit that subscribe, follow me on twitch.tv/charlatan, and join my official Discord server down in description below as well. I'm yours, one and only, Warden of the Tricksters community, and thank you for watching.